Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Quilt Bingo, yay! And today we are doing hearts. So look for hearts on your Quilt Bingo card. Now that Quilt Bingo card is going to be in our show notes as well as the PDF patterns for both beginner, intermediate, and heart. So it's you decide which level you want to work at, or whether you want to do them all because you think they're just gorgeous. It's up to you, entirely up to you. But first, let's get to our shout out. Our shout out here is Holly at Stella Maris Quilts. I hope that's Quilts because I can't even read my own handwriting now. But anyways, her YouTube channel is going to be in our show notes as well as the PDFs for hearts and your bingo card, because that bingo card is really fun. See, now the rules are, there's no rules. So if you have already done hearts that are finishing at 12.5 or unfinished at 12.5 inches, you can substitute that instead of doing this. But you might find you might like this. You might have a lot of fun with this. So you kind of have to decide what you're going to do, because you could pull from your orphan blocks. It's all good. I mean, you can make a couple of quilts if you want to. So that's entirely, you do you. That's the best way to do it. Also, so this is Quilt Bingo. We got underway August 27th. It's still not too late to join us and have some fun. Also, you're going to find in the show notes, beside your PDFs and Holly's YouTube channel, you're going to find the Zoom sew dates from now until the end of December, starting at 9 a.m., 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I live in Alberta, Canada. And those are so much fun. You guys have got to check those out if you haven't done already. It's a lot of fun. Also, our next sew along is called Twinkle Twinkle, and it involves strings. So you're going to have to keep your strings, you know, like get your strings together and start, you know, getting all these little strings. And if you haven't got a lot of strings, go ask your friends or guild members or whatever if they have some strings, if you want to come play with this too. I am going to try and do Twinkle Twinkle in a queen size, twin size, and couch throw, so that you have some, you know, like you have some variety, right? Like, so if you don't want to make a queen, you can make either a twin or a couch. It's all good. It'll be just a lot of fun. Also, make comments, hit that like button, share, thumbs up, hit that bell so you don't miss content. But making comments helps drive our analytics, and those analytics are so important for us so that we can continue bringing you fun free patterns like hearts or Quilt Bingo or whatever we're going to do next. Also, we have a Facebook group. We have a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord, and we just have lots of fun in there. We have numerous community chats. They're a lot of fun. And we have fabric exchanges by country to keep postal costs down. I also speak for free, and I am working on a new speaking engagement topic. And I'm hoping it'll be ready by December of 2025. So if you're looking for a speaker, you know, that's speaking for free because your guild is small or whatever, yes, I will try and make myself available for you. And just remember, my second one is only coming out after December. You can get hold of me either by email under the About tab or message me through the Facebook group. I'm faster at Facebook than I am at email. Also, if you have shout-outs, let's you're finding a channel here that you don't think I know about, because I don't have a lot of time to spend on the internet nowadays. So if you find a channel that needs, you know, is having fun and it's quilting related, please send me that link or tell me the name and I'll try and find it the best I can. And, you know, again, under the About tab is my email and Facebook group member. So I think that's it. You can just send me a message on your Facebook. So come on in, let's get to the sewing of hearts for beginners. So here we are at the sewing machine, and you need a lot of stuff to do this. Now, it's a foundation paper piece, but I decided I was going to play with my strings and fill in the red heart with strings. And my strings go this way on this side and this way on this side, right? Now I know some of you are going, oh good grief, we're doing string piecing with these? Yes, we are. Because they're fun. It's fun. Now I have a whole bunch of different reds. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out my first red. And yes, there's lots of different reds that you can use to play around with this. Now I don't want this too thin, right? But I want it, okay, here we go. Here's a nice thin little piece. The thin little stretcher of a piece is kind of cute, bright and contrasting. So I just want to lay it like that. And then I'm going to push this under. Now we're sewing from, oops, side. We're sewing from this side, not this side. Because if you sew on this side, you can't see what you're doing. You can't see to put the background pieces on. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, maybe I should turn on my light. That would go. And like string piecing is a fun way to use up little craziness that's in your stash that you really, there it is. I do have the light on. Okay, this just you know, kind of fun to play with. Now you only need to go 1/4 inch past, because this really browny red is quite dark, and you don't need too much of it, which is fine. But yeah, like strings are a great way to play with things. Now I wouldn't put the same. Okay, let me get this here. Let me get this down. Now I'm just going to overlap the B, right? Like the bigger triangle here. I'm just going to overlap it just a hair, like a good amount. And just move it up like that. But I now want to make sure I put a different color string, not another one of these that I just laid down, on top of that. Ooh. And I just got something just big enough. Yes, that'll work. So yeah, we're having a little bit of fun with it. You know, the cool thing is about having fun and doing something a little different and playing with your fabric and all of these fun things. And we might as well take advantage of it, you know. Otherwise, you've got stash that is going to be sitting around for forever. Now, you saw me hold this. When I'm holding it like that, I'm creating a little tiny knot that is going to basically take over the function. There we go. I'm going to put that in here right away. I'm creating a bit of a knot, and that knot's going to help secure the seam. Okay, and once it's secured, yeah, I can go right off. There we go. So you get to play around with a bunch of different colors and different this and different that, you know. So, and you still get, you know, a really pretty piece that you can say, I made. Now, the pattern says make 4. Yes, you're going to make 4 hearts to make a 4.5 inch. I can't use that. Ooh, I can use this. Can I use that? Is that big enough? Yes, just big enough. Just big enough. Okay. So, yes, so I'm having, you know, a bit of fun in here and playing around with stuff. And it's like, yeah, we're going to explore some creativity too while we're here. And, you know, and I think it's good for people to, oh, let's play with this, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah, so anyways, you're making 4. So you have quite a bit of stuff to go through. Now, this piece right here is a little wider, and you want it to get something a little bit bigger. And get this off. There we go. Is that going to be wide enough? Yes, just wide enough. Okay, and I'll just cut this end off, because we don't need that. That can go into the pet bed. That's small enough, I don't need to worry about it. Okay, and pull that forward, and I don't know. When I came up with this idea, I thought, this is just so insane, but it would be so much fun, so let's do this. And I did make some very creative, lovely hearts out of this. I'll show you at the end. I'm going to get around to, ooh. Okay, let's try this one. Let's try this. No, let's try let's try this one. This one's got some glimmer to it. It's got a little bit of cool. I don't know if that's going to be long enough, but let's find out. Now this one goes back into the crumb bin because it is still a big enough piece to work with. And again, flip this open. There we go. Now, we've got a few strings on here. Now, if this is not big enough, right? If this is not big enough, you know, then put another piece in. Like, you know, just like quickly put another piece in. And what's in the selvage, or there's a selvage along here, and it's right in the seam, so I'm okay with that, right? So I'm fine. I'm going to call this one done. And I'm going to now start getting my add a quarter ruler out. And there we go. Cutting off this. Just getting all that, clean up all those little edges. And this kind of worked out really well. Oops. There. Okay, come on. Yeah, we did a bunch of this piecing, this crazy string piecing for these blocks, and every block looks absolutely lovely. It's crazy and fun and just exactly the way you needed it, you know. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape here because that seam got kind of hammered. Anyways, so now I'm going to turn over this seam. Oh, that seam looks pretty good. So let's see if I just can't add my big triangle. Now, this is a 3.5, right? Thing that across. I cut this 4, right? 4.25, I think, or 4.5. I can't remember now what I did, but yeah, it's going to provide enough coverage. So now we're actually doing the heart. We're doing the background pieces of this heart. There we go. Now let's get this one. Let's see if I have enough there. Yes, I do. Woohoo! Very cool. Do I have enough? Yes, just enough. I'm not even going to cut that one. I'm just like, wow. That was cutting it really close. And you get some fun effects too when you put in your darks and your lights and your kind of reddy oranges and all this fun pattern that comes in there all of a sudden. It's just really cute, you know. Okay, so that all goes back into the pet bag. And now the big piece, I don't have to cut it. I don't have to. I'm just going to put the piece of yellowy gold that I had. Again, this is a 4.5, I think it was. 4.5, something like that. 4.25 square that I just put down the middle. There we go. And I'm just going to push that over. Now see, that covers beautifully. And now we're going to get some, what is this? A2. Okay, let me get that here. And I just found random triangle X. Random triangles, you know, that are you know, ready for, and I thought, well, I'm not making half-square triangles out of them. They can go. They can go. It's all good. There we go. Now this is perfect. I have perfect coverage there too. Yes, I do. Woohoo! Yes, I do. Okay. I'm gonna put it like that. There's less floral that shows up. There we go. And now we're going from the front, right? There we go. Then this goes like this. I should probably clip this off, but I'll get to it. Wait a minute, I'll clip it off right now. Okay. Where's my scissor? Oh dear, there's too many scissor choices. Okay, there, just like that. And all I'm doing is reducing the bulk in that seam that's going to come. So it's like, yeah, okay, we can do this. There's 1/2 done. This did not take long. And I'm just moving this scrap out of the way. There we go. And here's another weird piece scrap that has sat in my crumb bin for too long. It's now being put into a square where it will be loved. There we go. Now, Another leader ender. I know, you guys get tired of another leader ender song. But it works. Okay, now, so basically we're just going to flip these up just like so. And yes, they're way over. And no, it's not wasting fabric. It's nothing. If you were doing a whole big ream of these, you know, it would be fine. Okay, so now we are going, because this ruler is a little big for trim, or a little small for trimming. I'm going to grab my, you know, my bigger ruler, and I'm just going to trim off the excesses, and I want my 1/4 inch line, or my 1/4 inch line, to be inside that line, right? So this is, yeah, that's big enough for sharing. Oh dear. That's big enough for sharing still. So I'll put that back in the crumb bin and go to the other side. And you just want to make sure you line it all up. You get good, you know, you're not cutting off something essential. Oh, I guess I could save this. There we go. This is all pet bed. And this is crumbs. I can go back in the crumb. I shouldn't put little pieces like that back in the crumb, but they're big enough for me to sew with. So yeah, I do. And then I wonder, why can't my crumbs going down? Yeah, it's that reason, right? You know, you hate to throw out stuff that's been donated to you for charity quilts, because, you know, the person gave it to you with the intention that, yes, they would, you know, you would use it, right? So there's 1/2 of my heart. And just bear with me for just a second. Here, we'll get that other side done. Okay. Yeah, so you had to make 4, and that's a good number. You know, you're not making too many, especially for beginner, right? If you are doing this by strings, you know, it's easy to follow. If you're doing it by bigger piecing, well, you know, where you're just using 1 piece of solid red, that works too. It's easy enough for you to do and follow along. You're not doing too many. You're not getting bored of the heart. Okay, so here's my hearts. None of the strings match up, and that's okay. That is just perfect that they're not matching up. So what I did was I lined them up, took my time lining them up, and now I'm sewing on the line right down the middle. So these lined up so perfectly. I know they're the right size, so let me get, ooh, another leader ender. There we go. And what I did, yeah. So now I have this, and what I did is I forced these open, right? But I got the paper off before I did anything, right? And the paper, just this part of the paper, in the seam allowance, right? Because that's going to create a little bit of extra bulk that you don't want right now. Because what we're going to do next is that we're going to sew it to the other 4. Right, and you'll see the block I made. Now my color palette, I could throw low volumes in there if I want, but I decided I'm going to try and use as much red, blue, and yellow as I could. So let me just grab those blocks. Now, this, and this, and this, and now I'm pressing this open, right? So you can see what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to press it just quick like a bunny. Yeah, I don't do bunny anymore. So now I'm going to just assemble this as a 4-patch, right? And they're all crazy, and they're all fun, and they're all just going to be beautiful together. And that's one fun little block. Now I'm promoting this as a skill builder, but let's say you are, you know, you've been quilting all your life and you've, you know, won a whole bunch of ribbons and you just want something fun to go do. You know what? Just do all the fun, do what you want to do, right? You know, you can play along and, you know, you keep the patterns, right? Because they're all there for you. There we go. And another leader ender goes into the pile. And yeah, they're just a very quick, fun little block. And now the strings do add a little bit more bulk, but that's okay. So then you open them up. Now, again, press them so you can peel off that center seam, because wow, is that gonna, that's going to create extra bulk, and that you don't want. You don't want all extra bulk. Now, I just lined them up so that all of the hearts are pointing the same way. You could have lined this up any way you wanted to. You know, had all the points pointing out, all the points pointing in. That's up to you, right? It's your block. It's your, what you're going to do with it, right? So, I'm just giving you the idea, and now you get to play, right? So, flip it over, get the other side. Yes, that's a good thing to get the other side. Now, I like taking it all off because I don't forget to take it off then when I'm taking off the seam. I have in past years, many a time, went, oops, I forgot to, I forgot to do that. And my quilt is kind of crunchy and that's no fun for anybody. So now I'm opening these up just like so and pressing open that seam, right? Just, you know, just giving it a good quick finger press, right? Just so that we can say, yes, we finger pressed it. And there we go. There. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to, okay, so we're going to slip this on. We're going to line it up, slip it under. Where's my foot pedal? I lost it already. Oh no, a missing foot pedal. Okay, take your time, line everything up. There. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, line this up. Oops. Wait a minute. There. Okay. And again, sharp needle, 25 to 30 stitches an inch, which is like 1.5, I think, on your modern sewing machines. I'm not sure. I don't have a modern sewing machine. I have something from the 50s. I love this machine. I just love my machine. There we go. There. Okay, now another leader ender. Yay. Oops. There we go. I don't want to make too many mistakes on these leader enders. Otherwise, I spend most of my time picking them apart. Okay, there we go. Now, again, you're going to open this up and you're going to take the seam allowance bits out, right? Because that's going to make your block a little easier to work with, right? And it just doesn't take long to pull all this stuff out. Okay, just a little peek. There. Wait a minute, there we go. Now don't take the paper off entirely until you stay stitch around the block, right? That's very important because I've tried to cut the outer triangles straight of grain, but you know, let's face it, the strings could be anything, right? I mean, they could be unbiased, they could be whatever, right? I mean, whatever your string is, right? So it's all over the place, right? And you don't want these blocks to stretch. So I would definitely do stay stitching around the outer edge. Okay. And I know people complain, oh, it's so much harder to take your paper out. Well, yeah, but you don't have distortion. So what would you rather be doing? Trying to deal with taking paper out or having a bunch of distortion that you can't fix or can't put back into place? So let me just get this quickly stay stitched. And you want to open them up. Open up your seams and lie a little flatter if you do. And you're stay stitching within the seam allowance. So you're basically running around the outer edge at about 1/8. Not 1/4, but 1/8. And when you pivot with the needle down, and you end up with some beautiful turns, right? I'm just gonna just finger press this bit open for now. There we go. That's nice. There. There we go. Heart blocks are just so much fun to do. And just kind of cutesy, you know. Anyways. There we go. And just give this a quick little finger press out so it stays open. So what I'm going to do now, okay, another leader ender, of course. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it a quick press and, you know, make sure all these seams are really nice and flat. And I'll come back for the ta-da moment. Okay, so here is our blocks. These are our heart blocks that we made. They pressed out beautifully and they look great. And they're happy little strings and they're just a little crazy and they're fine. Now, this is the intermediate block. And again, we did red strings for the hearts and we had fun playing around with this and then making half the backgrounds yellow and the other half blue. And this is more of a foundation paper piece pattern again, you know, so you do a little bit of, you know, paper piecing, then you do the foundation paper piecing, then you go back and do a little bit more of string piecing. So yeah, this one was kind of fun to do. This one actually I thought was great. Now, for the hard one, this is the lovely that you are making. Now, this is not strings. These are foundation paper piece. These are just lovely. Because you've got so much fabric coming into the point, right into the cleavage of the heart, I would recommend stepping your seams, right? Like that means like beveling them, you know, so you don't have so much bulk all of a sudden because you're putting beveled seam against beveled seam then, right? Because they're matching at the same point, and that way you're able to still get, you know, still sew them together. They also are when you're beveling your seam, you're not weakening your seam, right? What you can do if you feel nervous about beveling your seams, right, and you know, getting that nice beveled, you know, where the first seam on the bottom is the biggest, and then it goes, as it goes up, you've beveled and stepped your, basically it's putting little steps on your seam because you're trimming away parts of your seam. If you feel nervous about that, put fray check. Fray check is your friend, right? So if you're feeling a little nervous about that and you figure stepping your seams or beveling your seams is a little bit not so, you're not so happy with that, fray check works every time. I've never had one pop. I've never had seams like this pop. So it's all up to you which level. This one took a while because it is all foundation paper pieced, right? There's no string piecing here. So yeah, and because that one looked like strings, I thought, oh, let's play around with the strings. So I do hope you're giving these a try. They were a lot of fun to do. And it's a good way to use up some of your scraps too. This one just was totally out of my red crumb bin and the yellow crumb bin. The blue I actually had to cut into because my blue crumbs are pretty hurt. So anyways, you stay well and take care. I hope you're having an absolutely fabulous week and your quarter inch seam is just perfect. So see ya. Bye. My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life and you know your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.